Imagine a young man, rejected and humiliated, transforming his greatest defeat into the key to unimaginable success. Sounds impossible? Well, that's where you're wrong. What if I told you that the next big technological revolution didn't come from a Silicon Valley genius, but from a young man from a humble neighborhood who could barely afford bus fare? This isn't just another story of overcoming adversity. It's a narrative that will challenge everything you believe about success, opportunity, and the power of a single idea. You're about to meet Jack, a young man who turned rejection into his greatest ally. But be warned, his journey is so inspiring that it might make you question all the excuses you've ever given for not pursuing your dreams. Get ready for moments of injustice that will make your blood boil, surprising twists that will leave you jaw-dropped, triumphs that will bring tears to your eyes, and most importantly, you'll discover a secret that the powerful don't want you to know. A secret so simple, yet so powerful, that it can change not just your life, but that of an entire community. But I warn you, this story isn't for the faint of heart. If you're satisfied with a mediocre life, you'd better stop here. However, if you feel you were born for something greater, if you're ready to challenge the status quo, then you need to hear this story to the end. And who knows? Maybe by the end of this video, you'll discover that the next Jack could be you. Don't miss a second. Your life could change in the next few minutes. Watch now and discover how rejection can be the first step towards a revolution. But before telling this inspiring story, I want to extend a special invitation to you. Subscribe now to the channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. This is very important for the channel's growth and will ensure you're notified about new videos. Now that you've subscribed to the channel, I want to give you a very special tip. Ever thought about earning income from your home in dollars? Click the link in the description and see how you can do this. Now, let's get to today's video. In a bustling city where skyscrapers touched the sky and dreams seemed as distant as the stars, lived Jack, a 25-year-old whose life had been marked by challenges and disappointments. Raised in a modest neighborhood, Jack carried with him not only the weight of his own aspirations but also the expectations of a family that struggled daily to survive. Jack's small, cramped room was a reflection of his reality. Posters of great entrepreneurs and scientists covered the peeling walls, serving as a constant reminder of his dreams. Every morning, he woke up to the sound of the alarm at 5:30, long before sunrise. Another day, another chance, Jack muttered to himself as he got up, a ritual he maintained to stay motivated. On that particular morning, the day dawned gray, as if the sky itself shared Jack's mood. Wearing his only suit, slightly worn at the sleeves, he looked at himself in the cracked bathroom mirror. "You can do this, Jack," he said to his reflection. "Today is the day that changes everything." Before leaving, his mother, Sarah, called out to him, "Jack, honey, have some breakfast before you go." "No, the interview is early, and I can't be late." Sarah held her son's hands, her eyes shining with a mixture of pride and concern. "Remember, son, no matter what happens, you're already a winner to us." With a lump in his throat, Jack hugged his mother and left, determined to turn this opportunity into reality. The journey to downtown was an adventure in itself. On the crowded bus, Jack mentally reviewed all the answers he had prepared. Beside him, an elderly gentleman noticed his unease. "First day on the job, young man?" the gentleman asked with a kind smile. "Job interview," Jack replied, trying to disguise his nervousness. "Ah, I see. You know, when I was your age, I went through many interviews too. The secret is to be yourself. If it's meant to be, it will be." Jack thanked him for the advice with a smile, feeling a little calmer. Arriving at the imposing Phoenix Corporation building, Jack felt his heart race. The entrance lobby, with its marble floor and crystal chandelier, seemed to belong to another world. "Can I help you?" asked the receptionist, looking at him with a curious expression. "Yes, I have a scheduled interview." Jack Thompson. After a few minutes of waiting that seemed like an eternity, Jack was led to the interview room. Before him, 3 executives with penetrating gazes evaluated him. "So, Mr. Thompson," began the lead interviewer, a middle-aged woman with thin-framed glasses, "I see you don't have a college degree. How do you expect to compete with more qualified candidates?" Jack took a deep breath, remembering the words of the gentleman on the bus. It's true that I didn't have the opportunity to attend university, but I invested all my free time in online courses and personal projects. For example, I developed a management system for my neighborhood's grocery store, which increased efficiency by 30%. I believe my determination and creativity can add value to the company. The interviewers exchanged skeptical looks. Interesting, said one of the executives, barely hiding a scornful smile, but I'm afraid we're not looking for rags to riches stories. We need professionals with solid credentials. With all due respect, Jack responded, feeling a courage he didn't know he had. Credentials are important, but they don't tell the whole story. My life experience has taught me to be resilient, creative, and to solve problems with limited resources. Aren't these the qualities every company looks for? The silence that followed was tense. The lead interviewer cleared her throat, visibly uncomfortable. I appreciate your perspective, Mr. Thompson. We'll be in touch if there's any interest. Jack understood the implicit message. Rising with dignity, he looked into the eyes of each interviewer. Thank you for the opportunity. Perhaps one day you'll realize that a person's value isn't measured by social status or diplomas hanging on the wall, but by their ability to make a difference, no matter the circumstances. Leaving the building, Jack felt the mix of emotions, disappointment, anger, but also a strange sense of liberation. He sat on a nearby bench, observing the city's movement. What now, Jack? He murmured to himself. It was at that moment that an idea began to form in his mind. If doors wouldn't open for him, maybe it was time to build his own door. That night, sitting in his small room, illuminated only by the light of an old laptop, Jack began a journey that would change not just his life, but that of many others. Mom, he called to Sarah, who was passing through the hallway, I think I've finally found my path. Sarah entered the room, curious. What do you mean, honey? I'm going to create something that will help people like us, Mom. An app that connects low-income people to job and education opportunities. I'm going to call it Unity. Sarah's eyes shone with pride. My son, if anyone can do this, it's you. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Jack dove headfirst into the world of programming. Sleepless nights, forgotten meals, red eyes fixed on the screen, every moment was a battle against his limitations. His neighborhood friends, seeing his dedication, began to gather to help. Lisa, a design student, offered to create the app's interface. Mike, who worked as a delivery driver, helped test and gave valuable feedback. Jack, you're creating more than an app, Lisa said one night as they worked. You're creating hope. 6 months later, Jack launched Unity. The launch was modest, a small party at the neighborhood community center, with snacks made by Sarah and soda divided into plastic cups. But something amazing happened. The app started to gain traction. People shared their stories of how they found jobs, courses, and opportunities through Unity. Local media was quick to notice. It's incredible how a simple idea can make such a difference, commented a reporter during an interview. What inspired you, Jack? With a serene smile, he replied, rejection. I realized there were thousands like me, full of potential, but without the right connections. I decided to be the bridge I wish I had had. The interview went viral, reaching the ears of people Jack never imagined. A year after Unity's launch, Jack received an email that left him speechless. It was from Phoenix Corporation, inviting him for a meeting. I can't believe it, he murmured, rereading the email for the 10th time. Sarah, noticing his agitation, asked what was happening. Mom, remember that company that rejected me? They want to see me now. Sarah smiled, her eyes watery. See? The world turns, my son. Entering the same interview room, Jack encountered familiar faces, the same executives who had rejected him. The atmosphere, however, was completely different. Mr. Thompson, began the woman with glasses, visibly uncomfortable, we'd like to discuss a possible partnership between our company and Unity. Jack smiled, not with arrogance, but with the tranquility of someone who had found his purpose. I'm always open to partnerships that can benefit our community. But first, I'd like to understand, what has changed since our last conversation? The silence that followed was deafening. We learned a valuable lesson, admitted one of the executives, the same one who had smiled scornfully months ago. We judged hastily based on prejudices. Your success showed us we were wrong. In fact, Mr. Thompson, your innovative approach is exactly what our company needs to connect with a broader audience. Jack nodded, absorbing the words. We all make mistakes. The important thing is to recognize them and grow. I'm willing to collaborate, but with one condition, that you genuinely embrace diversity, not just as a marketing strategy. I want to see mentoring programs, scholarships, more inclusive hiring policies. The meeting extended for hours, not just discussing business, but exploring ways to create a more inclusive corporate environment. In the end, an agreement was reached that promised to transform not only Phoenix Corporation but the entire business landscape of the city. In the years that followed, the partnership between Unityall and Phoenix Corporation became a success story. Mentoring programs flourished, scholarships were created, and fairer hiring policies opened doors for previously invisible talents. At an awards ceremony, 5 years after that first fateful interview, Jack took the stage to receive a Social Innovation Award. Looking at the audience, he saw faces from all backgrounds, a mosaic of human potential. His parents were in the front row, eyes shining with pride. True success, he said into the microphone, his voice laden with emotion, is not measured by how high we climb, but by how many we lift up with us. Each of us has the power to be the change we wish to see in the world. We just need to believe, persist, and above all, extend a hand to others. Jack's words echoed through the room, touching hearts and minds. At that moment, everyone understood that true wealth isn't in bank vaults, but in the ability to transform adversity into opportunity and rejection into motivation to create a better world. After the ceremony, while receiving congratulations, Jack was surprised by a familiar figure, the gentleman from the bus, from that interview day. I knew you'd go far, young man, said the gentleman with a warm smile. You not only stayed true to yourself, but you showed the world the best that's in all of us. Jack, moved, hugged the gentleman. Thank you for those words that day. They made more difference than you can imagine. And it's here, my dear listener, that I want you to reflect for a moment. This story reminds us that your worth isn't defined by your circumstances, but by your resilience and compassion. Jack not only overcame his own obstacles but used his experience to create opportunities for others. His journey teaches us that rejection can be a catalyst for your personal growth. That true success involves lifting others up along with you. That systemic change begins with your courageous individual actions. That empathy and understanding are fundamental to creating a more just society. And, above all, that you should never underestimate someone's potential based on appearances or circumstances. Think about how many times you felt rejected or underestimated. Now, imagine if you used that experience not to bring yourself down, but to create something that could help others going through the same situation. That's what transforms not just our lives, but the world around us. Remember, every small act of kindness, every moment you choose to persevere despite difficulties, every time you reach out to help someone, all of this adds up to create a much greater impact than you can imagine. Jack's story isn't just about personal overcoming, but about how you can transform your difficult experiences into strength to create a positive impact on the world around you. It's a reminder that, no matter where you come from or what obstacles you face, you have within you the power to make a difference. So, the next time you face rejection or an obstacle that seems insurmountable, remember Jack. Remember that within you lies an incredible potential waiting to be discovered and shared with the world. You have the power to write your own success story and inspire others along the way. Believe in yourself, persist in the face of difficulties, and never underestimate the impact your actions can have on others' lives. And always remember, sometimes rejection isn't the end of the road, but the beginning of an even more incredible journey. Who knows what amazing opportunities are waiting for you, precisely in the places you least expect. Thank you for listening to this story today. I hope it has touched your heart and inspired you to pursue your dreams with renewed determination. Until next time, and remember, your value is immense, regardless of what others might say. Take care and never stop believing in yourself.